Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to get through this thing called Mix CD. My name is Mike, part of the SPDM crew, and I love making Mix CDs. Each week, we give our guests a theme and an 80-minute time limit for which songs they're going to pick for their Mix CD. This week, I'm going to be talking about duets and collaborations. Now, I tried my best to look for some of my favorite duets and I'm not really looking for featured artist. I want to try to make this as collaborative as possible. So, what I did is that I went through a bunch of my stuff on Spotify and I wanted to take a look and see if I could find some of my favorite duets. Now, there's a couple on here that I am not putting on simply because I've put them on other things. But I do want to give a shout out to Die with a Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars because it is ostensibly just like a gorgeous song and one of my favorite songs of last year. But I took a look and I just wanted to acknowledge and talk about some of these amazing, amazing songs that have two primary artists and they just work hand in hand together. I also tried my best to limit the amount of movie duets that are on this list. So you're not going to find a lot of like the more prominent ones. And I'm looking at you specifically, Disney, for this. I took away all of those and specifically focused on some other movie ones. So yeah, without further, and the reason why I wanted to talk about duets specifically is because this came up when I hosted trivia recently. Somebody asked who a particular song was, and I was like, oh, it's by these two people. It was like, oh, that's cool, and we just got to talking about duets, and I figured let's just turn this into an episode. So without further ado, here is my mix CD of some of my favorite duets. So starting off with one of my favorites, it is from the movie Grease. It's You're the One That I Want by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Say what you will about the movie Grease, because Gwen has the opportunity to be in a Grease, like a junior version of Grease, and I'm not really thrilled about the prospect of Grease being in anybody's purview when it comes to a play, mainly because it's pretty basic and also it's kind of gross if you think about it too much. But I love this particular song with the two of them. It's one song where they're singing like directly at each other as opposed to a lot of the other ones where they're in like two different areas and they're like singing together kind of, but this one is among the more collaboratives and it's just an iconic scene of the movie. Next one I have is Don't Go Breaking My Heart by Elton John and Kiki D. This is one that I always think about that episode of How I Met Your Mother, that this is Lillian Marshall's go-to karaoke song, so I always think about that. I have Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. Now, Bradley Cooper is not the best singer on the face of the planet, but I can't deny that he tried his best, and Lady Gaga just comes in with just that booming voice, and she just makes her presence known. And dear Lord, the chemistry between those two when they performed it at the Oscars was just too much. It was just too much. So next, I've Had the Time of My Life by Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes from Dirty Dancing. I don't think need an explanation as to why this is on the list. It's a banger. It's just an amazing song. Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. This is on in a ton of movies as well, but also it's just an iconic song and just one of the greatest duets of all time. Endless Love by Lionel Richie and Diana Ross. Now, for me, I think of a couple things from like the pop culture zeitgeist when it comes to Endless Love. I think of that scene in Happy Gilmore where they are ice skating and that the ice rink attendant is playing this song on the speaker and Happy's like, "What? Friends listen to Endless Love and while skating in the dark." And then I also think of the performance that Leah Michelle and I can't remember his name, Matthew McFadden. No, that's not it. God, what the hell is your name? The guy who plays Will, Matthew Morrison. Okay, I will never forget the time that I heard it heard the performance on Glee, or the cover of it, with Matthew Morrison and Leah Michelle, and man, it was beautiful. It was gross when they were talking about it because it was a student singing this to a teacher, but it was still really good. To me, this next song might be one of the greatest duets of all time because it's from two of the most powerhouse vocalists of our generation, perhaps ever. And it's "When You Believe" from Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. It's from The Prince of Egypt. And I think this song potentially transcends the movie because it elevates it to a level where it's like, holy shit, this movie is better, made better by some of the musical choices that they had. And for them to get these two together to sing this song is just nothing short of miraculous. This one's a bit of a guilty pleasure, but just go with it. I have "I Don't Want to Live Forever" by Zayn and Taylor Swift. It's from the 50 Shades, one of the 50 Shades movies, but I like this because I thought the music video was great, and this was Taylor Swift kind of shedding that, a little bit more of that. Well, I think both of them are doing that. They're shedding a little bit more of that goody two shoe image in order to make more mature content. Let's see. I got this one's kind of some of these are kind of cheats, but just go with me on this. So, because I have "Bring on the Rain" by Jody Messina, which by herself she does a really great job of just having the song by herself. However, she also has a version that has Tim McGraw as well. And I really like that version because it just kind of brings a little bit more gravity to the role, or to the song, with Tim McGraw and his kind of like scruff voice. Because Jodie Messina, her voice just like pierces your soul in a really cool way. So I think in particular that their vocals just complement each other really well too. There we go. Okay. I have Nelly and Kelly Rowland with "Dilemma." And this had its moment in the sun in TikTok for a while. This was all over the radio when this came out. This was perhaps at the height of Nelly's powers in terms of his ability to talk about, or his ability to kind of be staying power in the early 2000s. So I really like this song. I have my next song is Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown, "Nowhere." And say what you will about this song, it's corny, it's cheesy as hell, but these two, their voices blend really well together. And I don't know, it's interesting because Jordan Sparks never made it the way that I thought she was going to, but she's actually just an amazing singer. Kind of in a similar vein, I have "Hate That I Love You" by Rihanna and Neo. And these two came out at around the same time, which is interesting, especially considering Rihanna and Chris Brown's history as well. But I like this song a lot because it doesn't feel as corny of a song as "Nowhere," but the vocals are just really, really just outstanding. So the next song I have on my list, I have Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men's "One Sweet Day." And boy, this song was really popular in the early 90s when it came out. Perhaps at the height of both of their popularity, because Boyz II Men just owned the early 90s, and so did Mariah Carey. But this song was just so emotionally charged, and it was so sweet of them to write this song for a mutual acquaintance of theirs, like a manager or some agent or something like that, that they both shared. But this song just gives me the chills every time I listen to it, and because Mariah Carey just has pipes for days. But don't slouch on the guys from Boys to Men. They're just outstanding. I have Jason Mraz and Colby Lucky. I think this is a cute little duet. I've got "Broken" by Seether and Amy Lee. And Amy Lee's voice, she's the lead singer of Evanescence, or was the lead singer of Evanescence, and her voice is just haunting, just absolutely haunting. And I love it. It's really great. I've got Charlie Puth and Megan Trainor's Marvin Gaye. This is one where she's technically featured in it, but and there are various versions of this that don't have a secondary artist, or they have a different one, and it's or it's ones that's just Charlie Puth. But Megan Trainor makes this song for me. I've got Senorita by Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. A little bit extra charged here because they were dating at the time. I've got Falling Slowly by Glenn Hassard and Markita Erglova. It's from the movie Once. And this song is beautiful. It's incredibly done. And it just gives me chills, just like One Sweet Day does. It's just such an amazing song. And I found it fitting that my last two songs are both by the same duo because I think the music that they make together is just simply outstanding. And I wish that they made more together. So I've got My Boo by Usher and Alicia Keys. And then Alicia Keys brought Usher on for one of her songs that I think just makes the song incredible. It's If I Ain't Got You, and Usher swoops in after the first course and just does outstanding, outstanding work. So that is my mix CD of duets. What did I miss? Were some different things that you would have included on this list? Let me know, and we'll have to do a volume two sometime, or add those to my list of things that need to be that are available for people to talk about, whether it's a duet or a collaboration of some type. Yeah, that's really cool. As for the album artwork, I'm taking a look at if there's something in particular that kind of stands out to me as really great artwork for something like this. And I think I'm gonna go with if I would, it's kind of taken already, but it's kind of like the cover from the album for the movie Once, where the two of them are just looking at each other and they're just walking hand in hand. The only other thing that I would probably pick is if I could pick something where both Alicia Keys and Usher are performing together, since I've got two of their songs together, I'd probably pick that if I'm being perfectly honest. So, but again, let me know in the comments or let us know via social media what are some of your favorite duets that are out there now. Well, my friends, the time has come to end this episode of Mix CD. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website soon to be out at spdmcrew.com. You could follow our playlist on Spotify and Apple Music at Mike Hilty. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at highflyercreative.com. If you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, no matter what happens now, you shouldn't be afraid because I know today has been the most perfect day I've ever seen.